Time. Good morning, my
Morning.
wonderful people. Happy to have you guys here. The weather is cooling off where we are, and we thank
Yep.
God for lower electric bills because this summer it went up to thousands. It was awful. So thank God for the cool weather. We are grateful to have you here. We continue to pray that God will watch over you and carry you on as you do your work as a stakeholder of Ninas, the stakeholder of people that want to do better for their people that need a change and not that fake change that we see some people are offering our people, but sustainable and true change. So, welcome to the program. As usual, help us to share, subscribe. What is all these things that we have to do? The whole 9 yards, because you can see things are building up. If you guys remember the show that we did about the Leviathan and what is going to happen at the 10th month, this is the 10th month, and a lot is happening. So we thank God for those that are following, for those that understand, for those that are on the same mission that we are. Because at the end of the day, all we want is better for our people. Nothing more, nothing less. We're not here to go to Harvard and talk to Harvard about things that is happening in Africa when they live somewhere in Boston. Now, Uber Eats. So we are here to offer a change that will truly, truly help our people. That is sad that we are running back to the same people that caused us to have problems to go and solve our problems. My sister will say that a local problem deserves a local solution. So, welcome to the program. We are happy to have you here. Help us to share, all those things that we have to do to ensure that this information gets to our people. As you can We've already said over and over again, that the enemy is against what we're doing, and they are fighting tooth and nail to ensure that our people are deceived once again so they can keep stealing our resources because that's what it's all about. Winter is coming in Europe. They are not sure how they're going to handle the cold that is coming their way. So you can see that we are a source of revenue and all kinds of stuff for them. So they don't want any change. So them and their cronies, they are busy making sure that we are sending information that will educate our people is being blocked. When you are dancing and giving your children French fries to eat, they will ensure that 1 million people are watching. So, but it's okay. We know where we're going and we know what to do to get there. So let me take off, stop talking because we have 1 hour to finish the show. So welcome, welcome. Help us to share and I'll continue to share. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, our viewers. We appreciate you all for coming again. Those that are returning, you're welcome. The newcomers, those that is first time you're coming, we appreciate you. Please stay, share, subscribe. We're on YouTube. Help us to hit the notification button so that once any video is released from this platform, you will see it. And our video that are usually packed with information. We don't have time for frivolities. We don't have time to play around because our people are dying and we're in a dire situation. So our videos are packed. When you watch one, please watch others. Go to our website, watch others. There's so many in YouTube, all of them. They are all full of information. So please help us to share, like, subscribe, and welcome others to come and join us in this discussion. My name is Dr. Simon Okube Ekwi. So please, and I live in Lexington. Yeah, we are going towards cold. Sister Mona is enjoying herself for lower bill. We are anticipating our own. Oh my God, how we're going to heat up.
Yep.
So, but it's all good. We want our people to have a better life and join us as we continue. So please share. We'll take a moment of our time to share. Then we'll pull up our video when we're done sharing. Thank you so much, Simona. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ezekiel. Yes, I am sharing. We are on this what is it called, Twitter space. It's a good place to listen as well. So join us there too. Help us to share for those that are using that platform. And as usual, we send out our topic for people to get an idea where we're going today, which says the need for an urgent renegotiation of all the coexistence of all the ethnic nations in Nigeria. The need of the need for an urgent renegotiation. So just give me a few minutes to share. I have some group of people that I have to send it to because for some reason they say they can't see it if I don't send it, so I don't know what's going on. All right. Okay. All right. So as our topic goes, the need for an urgent renegotiation of the coexistence of all the ethnic nations in Nigeria. According to NINA's, the Constitutional Force Majeure Proclamation of December 16, 2020 is a comprehensive, ready-for-use template for resolving the union dispute that threatens to take down the failed Brigadian experiment of 1914. Um, Dinas has done a very marvelous job, a very good job for that matter, that took 20 something years in making. We have set out a proposal for you guys to see exactly what we are talking about. We don't have any hiding in anybody's pocket or hiding in anybody's toilet for that matter. We have it out there in the open for you to understand where we're going. The problem in Nigeria is not whether the so called Nigerians love or hate themselves. After all, people can do business with total strangers as long as they agree on the terms and the rules of engagement. The problem is that the situation in Nigeria uh, has been taken over by few people holding us down under duress while they get rich and richer. That's why you can see the likes of Dino, is it Dino DeMaio, whatever his name is? The man will park 1 million cars. I hope that flood took all that cars away. He'll be gallivanting everywhere from stolen properties and they want us to remain under the same geographical space so they can continue to loot our wealth. The damaged constitutional basis of Nigeria brought about by the recklessness of the Fulani-led military cabals and their co-conspirator from the rest of Nigeria has caused us so much sorrow and pain to the indigenous owners of the land whose resources are entirely taken away under gunpoint by these war criminals gallivanting around us as elder statesmen. And then when you think about that, you're thinking about Obusanjo. Obusanjo has been around. Stealing, looting is not enough. He's busy handling P2B. He's one of the handlers of P2B. They are handling the person that you want to bring change. So here you are, you're running away from Babangida and the Staru school and all that has been. And now you're running back to their boy. Running back to their boy. You want change, but you're running back to the boy that they're handling. You can see we're deceiving ourselves. We're running in circle. Therefore, the only meaningful solution at sight is initiating an immediate transitioning process to ease out this unworkable lopsided arrangement, which is worse than the apartheid system that we know about in South Africa. The only people clamoring to keep and maintain Nigeria as it is are those benefiting from the system. And they are not just politicians, so they are those that are they like the way it is. They like want to keep maids. You know, they want to have 20 maids in their house and be the Lord and the Savior that feeds everybody else. They want to be the landlord of people that are paying unnecessary huge amount for rent. You just name it all. They want to make sure that their maid will never ride the same car that they're riding. So they are all the same people doing the same thing, wanting us to maintain something that does not work. This includes, again, all political parties, their business partners, who's, and those acting as church leaders, and all the so-called self-made billionaires in Nigeria. They are the ones that want to keep us down when they know the system is not working, the system has failed. However, the good news is that their time is up. And whether they like it or not, if they don't listen, that Leviathan that they're messing with, They will end up, all of them, even with their $1 million homes, they will all end up in IDP camp, because if it's not the Fulani that will take you to IDP camp, the flood will take you to IDP camp. The Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, they have done, again, like I said before, an excellent work in exposing and discrediting these criminals and letting us know that they have nothing for us. They have no love for us. It's all about them. It's all about them, so that they will continue to deceive us as we have mass murder going on. There's so many misrule, embezzlement, misappropriation of funds. We know what they're doing. Our resources are out there in Switzerland, hiding in Texas Bank, American Bank, just naming all the banks all over the place, except the place where it needs to be. If we continue to deceive ourselves, like I have always said 20 million times, people came from the sea, stood where they are, jump into the boat, carry that boat, come to Africa, collect people, go back 400 years, not even one weather, strike them all over and over so that they will be scared and not come back. No, the universe allowed them to continue the business. They made money. The biggest bank in London now, they made their money from slavery. Nobody's talking about that. Then they have used it to buy the same football team that my brother-in-law loves, football team. Is Manchester United. That's money from your forefathers. That money, the owner of the company from the bank, they went and bought a football team. My people, we are wasting our time. So today we are going to educate us on how to escape from the claws of these wicked, blood-sucking demons, cabals, because they will never let you go. They will continue to handle P2B to deliver their mandate. And you will be left again in a camp where you will have no help, in a camp where your oncoming president is telling you that your governors formed the ESN and he can't do anything about it. You have been soaked in water now for 2 weeks. They have no plans for you. They have no plans, and more is coming. Whether that happened the other day or dam or whatever they did, more is coming for you because you have no right. You have no right. I'm so upset. Let me stop talking. Sister Ife, please go
Yes,
ahead.
Lydia, we don't have any right under the 1999 Constitution. As a citizen, you have no rights. You can't even demand for anything, and you can't hold your politicians accountable because that document is their documentation. It is them that own it, and they impose it on you. It has a immunity covering them. It has everything that is wrong inside it, and they're carrying on with it. And Ninas is talking about safety of lives and properties. How do we live? So it's a total different thing that we are talking about. We are talking about how do we keep our people safe in this situation that is coming all over the world, so many going on. Our people are not protected. They are everywhere, going through the Mediterranean Sea, through deserts, scattered all over the world. What is on topmost in our heart as people working with Ninas is the lives, saving the lives of our people, keeping our people safe and moving them forward. Lives and properties. But the politicians and the cabals, what are they talking about? The cabals are sponsoring these politicians. They are talking about who wins election amongst themselves. And we have told you that the 1999 Constitution is for them. It's for them and them alone. So they are talking about how they can win and continue to uphold that which kills the people they say that they're leading. They have gambled with our lives for over 50 years, and they want us to allow them to continue to gamble. They are not even part of the discussion. We're not even discussing any of these things that we're saying, that the structure of Nigeria is not right. That with 1999 Constitution, you will never deliver democracy to the people because you don't have a democratic constitution. What you have is a military document. What you have is a colonial document. It is not a democratic constitution. So how can you be having democratic election with a document that is not democratic? So the politicians have not even started the discussion. They are not part of the discussion. They are not even part of what we're saying.
They are not interested in you.
They are not even interested. And you know what? You, the people who are suffering as a result of that 1999, you are the one allowing the politicians to gamble with your lives because you have failed to gain knowledge. You have failed to acquire knowledge. We come here every Saturday and there are all the documents in there, out there. Anybody telling you, oh, we don't even know about Ninas, is like saying, I don't know about Christ. I don't know about salvation. Because God sent this salvation to the indigenous peoples to liberate them from the cabals. So it's not okay for you to look at anybody and say, I don't even know about Ninas. It's not okay. It's like you saying, I want to die. And I want to die with my children. All of us want to die. It's suicidal to say, I don't know about what Ninas is saying. Because the information is out there. You have your data, you have your phone. Send information to your friends. All the time that people are using to gossip. Look at women's breasts and their bam bam and everything. Use it to get information that will deliver you and your children. It is crucial. Where we are now is emergency. We had some time before and we are just taking our time. But right now, where we are is life and death. So it is not okay for anybody to say, I don't even know what Ninas is saying. It's almost like a crime. Because it's like you're saying, I want to commit suicide. The thing about not knowing what Ninas is saying and not understanding, some have heard Ninas, but they don't understand what Ninas is saying. The thing about that situation is that you are committing suicide, because when you don't know what Ninas is saying, you won't know who is your enemy and how that your enemy is killing you. You won't even know when you are sponsoring the enemy. For those that are shouting good governance, you are busy sponsoring the enemy that will kill you and your people, and you're saying good governance. Jesus. It just shows that you are not articulating, your brain is not working well yet. And that's why we come here, to make your brain to function. Go ahead with your video, my
dear. My dear, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that our people are wasting their time. Will happen to you no matter how much song you sing to God and don't do what you're supposed to do, you will bear the consequences. Nothing will minimize the wrath of the consequences if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
There to say, we did not make this constitution. Let us take some time out and go into transition so that the matter doesn't resolve itself on the street. Of course, they ignored it and went on to the next election. We kept reaching out to mobilize those who are suffering from all aspects of that constitution. The ones whose oil and gas assets are seized in the Niger Delta, the ones who have been slaughtered in the Middle Belt, the ones who have been molested in Yoruba land, everywhere. And we took the matter even further to the international arena, where the owners of oil and gas assets in the Niger Delta were now, having to contend with people who are blowing up pipelines, just trying to bring some kind of framework that will, shut out violence. And so, having gone from creating that consensus to the original consensus, against unitarism, to the consensus against that constitution, to the consensus for the time frame within which this matter had to be resolved, and it came to 2018 after the solemn assemblies from the regional blocks. 2015 was the one of Port Harcourt, 2017 was the one in Ibadan, 2018 was the one in Makurdi, where the regional blocks, the three blocks in the alliance, had repudiated that constitution to the seeing of the world. And we went out there in 2019 to tell the international stakeholders between Washington and New York to say, look, this is what's happening in our space, in case it becomes a little more manageable, so that everybody could understand it. We've done all of that, and the constitutional force majeure was the culmination, because there are some people who are thinking that Ninas came together only 3 days ago. The constitutional force majeure of 16th December 2020 was the culmination of this 20-year process that became 22 because of Corona. We lost 1 year. And so just we went back to this bit of detail to let our people know that in saying that we cannot endure this master-servant union, this union of death any further, as imposed by this constitution, he was to say this is when it must end if we're to discuss it under a roof. And we're saying we're doing everything we can to make it end that peacefully, so that the replacement could come from negotiations and discussions, not in commotion and rowdiness on the street. But it appears there are the political actors who are thinking that, well, let's just fight on and defeat them, go to election, and then be happy ever after. It's not going to be so. And we're just telling our people that even if they stubbornly proceed to election, the winner of that election will discover that there's no Nigeria to govern the day after. That is what, let Atiku hear it, let Obi hear it, let whoever is going to win that election in 2023 hear it, that the 1999 constitution has been rejected by the owners of the land, and that anybody who's hoping to hang on to that fraud as basis of governmental power and authority, as dictated in section 14.2a of that constitution, is going to find out that there's no Nigeria to govern. We have plenty of time, almost 1 year from this time.
Awesome. Thank you, Brother Tony, for that. As usual, we are going to give you some information today that you need. Continue to help us to share, by the way, like, all those things that we need to do to ensure that our people get this information. They will continue to block us, but it's okay. Just to do your part. Once you log in, please help us to share. The more we get this information, the more empowered that we are, the more we'll be able to engage these animals parading as politicians that don't give a damn about us. So if you go ahead.
It's all about empowerment, my people. My sister said it. It's all about empowerment. The more this information gets out, we are 200 million over. If the information gets to 2 million, the power is like this. If it gets to 20 million, the power increases. It gets to 50 million, the power increases. If it gets to 100 million, they can't contain us. The whole world cannot contain us. So we are not just fighting. Some people say it's political. It's not politics. We have not even started politics. This one is war. It's after the war, then you now start politics. But we are fighting differently. We don't want to fight like the people fought in the 18th centuries. Let's give us an example. The European countries and the Western world, they fought themselves. They continue to fight until a time in 1884, 1885. They sat down and said, no, let's stop fighting. Rather, let's sit down and negotiate and share this meat that we are eating. They balkanized Africa. They sat down, discussed it. So that's the type of thing we are doing now. We are saying, Africans, you have fought enough amongst yourselves. The ethnic nations amongst yourselves. Ninas went and studied to find out, why is it that we are fighting amongst ourselves? What is causing all this fight? They did research for 20 years, came out and said, okay, this is what is causing all the quarrels. Now let's resolve it. This is how we can resolve it. Is this not simple? Some people say, no, we want to continue to go and fight. We are doing politics. Can't you see that you're not understanding? We are telling you that the people you are doing the politics with are not even part of the discussion yet to resolve the conflicts that we are having. All the underdevelopment, all the backwardness, everything that is going on. These people, your politicians, are not part of the discussion yet. And you are going to collect PVC and do what with them exactly? Have you seen that you're making yourself look stupid? The people that you are going to vote in or campaign for are not part of the discussion to get you a meaningful life. I give you an example. Atiku is still urging the northern voters to reject Yoruba and Igbo presidential candidates. At the level where he is. He's not even on top of the table where we are discussing yet. He is not even under the table. He is underneath. Atiku is still in basement. What we call basement here, underground. He hasn't even come on top of the ground before he come under the table of discussion. And you people are running around campaigning. Let's look at his brother, Tinubu. Tinubu's running mate, Shetima. And when you say running mate, if anything happens to Tinubu, Shetima will take over. So they're together and it's a single ticket. Two of them are one. So anything Shetima says, Tinubu said it. Anything Tinubu said, Shetima said it, because it's a single mandate. It's a single mandate. You can't separate one from the other. So Shetima said that those that are talking about union reconstruction are mad. They are not even, this one is not even underground. Shetima is still inside evil forest. He's a terrorist. He's inside evil forest. He hasn't even come to go under the ground before he will come under the table of discussion, before he will be on top. Let's look at your brother, P2B, that you're jumping up and down. The one that is going up and down, negotiating with terrorists and begging them to vote for him. He said constitution is not the problem of Nigeria. This one has not even bought the application form for JAMB. It's like you have JAMB and saying, what did you score in JAMB exam? This one, P2B, has not bought JAMB form. Yes, Doctors of Truth, you said it. You said P2B has not even bought JAMB form. Then somebody is asking, what did he score in JAMB? He has not bought the form, let alone applying before he will write the exam. Then we now ask, what did he score? Have you people seen that you're all wasting your time? And we'll show you, we showed it in the video that we just showed you. That all the playing around you're doing. If this person that is texting me will not stop texting me, something will happen to him and his phone. We are saying that all the noise you're making, everything you're saying, at the end of it, flood will carry you and it. You see this flood that is on? It's going to carry, because now this flood is just the economical, like when it's, they embezzled money, like my sister said, all the money that's supposed to work and do things for you, they didn't use it. That's why the flood came, and the flood is carrying you away. This one is flood of water. Other floods are coming. We're telling you people that it has started. It's game over. It's time up for all of you, both the led and the leader. It's time up, because that shit that you have been shitting in the shithole is full and it's running over. So where we're going is running over. Water will carry you. Electricity will carry you. Boko Haram will carry you. Every evil that you can mention in this world will carry you. Why? Because you have been reckless with the resources that God gave you. You allowed yourself to be reckless. So we're going to start showing you, discussing with you this topic as we show you the PowerPoints. My sister already gave us a topic for you to understand that there's an urgent need for renegotiation for all the ethnic nations. Whether we are 1,000, because some people say, what is Nina saying itself? Are we going to have 1,000 nations? Please stop talking if you are not intelligent. And another thing we are saying, please, those that can't understand, because what we are discussing, it does not require PhD. It does not require doctor, engineer, whatever. It just requires common sense. In fact, the people that have PhDs are worse in this discussion because their brains have been damaged. I think they read too much book. Like Solomon said, too much reading can cause madness. So I think they read too much and it caused madness to them. So they don't understand simple things. We said we don't have a nation yet. And you say, let's go and vote who will lead the nation. Is it not common sense? This is just common sense. So that's what we choose to discuss with market women, motor park people. These are the people we want to even discuss with. We don't want to discuss with these elites because you know what? They are benefiting from the crime called Nigeria. Anybody that can speak good English, they are benefiting. So we don't even like discussing with them. How do we know that they're benefiting? You can see that they're so, because when you talk, they deviate. When you're telling them this is the problem, they go to the left, go to the right. That means they're dishonest. It's not that they don't understand what the people need. It's just that they're dishonest. They want to continue to make money from the sorrow and the pain of the people. That's why they deflate and they are not.
The status quo is working for them.
It's working for them. The status quo is working. So they will tell you, oh, is it Obi? Is it Atiku? Is it? They want to continue business as usual. But you know what we are telling them? Time is up because elements of the weather are now part of this war. That dam that you didn't build is coming to bite you. Those roads that you didn't build, they're coming to bite you. Those hospitals that you didn't build, they're coming to bite you. Those jobs that you didn't create for the youths, those unemployed youths, they have all become criminals and they're coming to kill you and your children. You are going to run away from that land. Take it from us. All you politicians and elites. No matter how you build your house and wall it, put yourself inside prison, the negligence, the work that you did not do for 50 years is coming for you.
Yep.
And that is what has made it to become an emergency. There is now an urgent need for a renegotiation of the coexistence of all these ethnic nations together. We don't have a choice now. We must renegotiate. So anybody that is telling you that, no, we are not going to renegotiate, is your enemy already. Let's go to the next slide. Sorry, sister. Then say, what is the responsibility of the elders? The responsibility of the elders is to tell the youths and children what happened in the past. That's what they call history. It is your responsibility as an elder. If you are still alive, taking oxygen inside your nose, you must tell the youths in your family, in your village, in your church, in your organization, everywhere, whether you're a freedom fighting group, whatever group you are in now, it is your responsibility to begin to speak out the truth. Tell them what happened in the past. Why? So that we avoid unnecessary repetition of history. There's no need to repeat what did not work. There's no need. So in 1960, we're going to tell you some of those things that happened. We will play our role. But others should go and meet them, youths, all of you, go and meet them and begin to ask them. Let them begin to vomit now. Because you not knowing the past is what is making you try what your forefathers tried and it failed. That's why it's so important that you know what happened so they don't stupidly repeat stupidity and think you're intelligent because you can speak English. In 1960, we federated with 3 constitutions. The Western Constitution, the Eastern Constitution, and the Northern Constitution, 3 of them, because we wanted a federation. It was supposed to be Federal Republic of Nigeria, meaning that the mandate of the North will be 1/3, the mandate of the West will be 1/3, and the mandate of the Eastern region will be 1/3. But now, because they splitted all of us into 36 states, we are all political minorities. So we can't come together and speak as a voice. It was intentional. We take example of Igbo, that was Igbo people that were part of the Eastern region. In those days, they would speak as a region. That's 1/3 of Nigeria. If they are going for election, if they are going to vote, when they vote, they will speak in that say because they had a constitution governing them. Anything they want to push in Nigeria, they had that power. Their power was 1/3. But now that power has been reduced to maybe 2/36. Because the people, they cut the Igbo people, some in Rivers, some in Benue, some everywhere, reduced them to 5 states. Even in that 5 states now, you have APC, the terrorist political party, taking 2 already, remaining 3. So it's 3 out of 36. Divide it, what is it? So you have now been reduced from a power of 1/3 to 36 over 3/36. What is it? Who is there?
12.
So you have reduced. So if they divide it into 12, 1 is your own. Meanwhile, before, 1/3 was bigger. You have a circle. If you divide it into 3, that big one is your own. Now it has been reduced to 36 pieces. You now pick only 3 out of it. You see, you have been reduced to political minority. That is the same thing for all the ethnic nations. All of you, I just use Igbo as example. As a result, you are not able to push anything forward. Then we'll talk about the local government that is 774. So that's why we tell you that your problem is a structural problem. It's not who wins and who loses. You have to go back and fix this thing before you start talking about election. The fourth constitution came later. That was Midwest. Because in that 1/3, as they divided it to 3 parts, some people were carved in. They say, oh, we are too small. We're going to be small in this big group. We'll be lost. We want our own independence. That is why Midwest was carved out of the West. You see how our people were ready to empower us step by step, not to swallow anybody, not to conquer anybody. The next step would have been to bring out the South from the Eastern region so they can stand by themselves, and then bring out Midwest from Northern region. But it would have been done systematically. It wasn't something that would have, it's something you just go for referendum and then the next thing will be done. But no, the cabals hijacked this process. The right step was not taken. Rather, they hijacked the process and began to do something else. They maliciously balkanized our people into states, local government, multiplying the cost of governance. When you have multiplied the cost of governance, it's like somebody doing business. If the cost of running the business is more than the profit you're making, your business will collapse. You see, what we're saying is common sense. You don't need PhD to understand this, I'm saying. If the cost of running your company is higher than the profit you're making, there is no miracle that will make you to survive. And this is where we also bring in the church. Because the church was doing a very terrible job in teaching our people about miracles. Oh, if you don't go to school, if you don't attend lectures, you will pass because you serve a God of miracle. What our God cannot do does not exist. You're not working, but all of a sudden you have 1 million and you buy, you have
Promotion.
100 million, you buy the biggest car. Because what our God cannot do does not exist. That is 419 Christianity. It is not practiced anywhere in the world. In the US here, Christians operate differently. They don't do those things you're saying. Somebody has cancer. They say, go into the house and drink olive oil. One woman tried it in my family. Sorry, she's dead now. We don't want to be gambling with our lives and destiny. So we continue with the history class. May 29, 1962, there was unilateral suspension of the Western Region Constitution. We're telling you, because my people see, those that don't understand Igbo, my ancestors believe in cause root analysis. It's just that this speaking too much English makes our people not understand that our ancestors tried all these things. Some people will go and start doing presentation. Oh, root cause analysis. Oh, I'm a PhD. My ancestor that didn't go to school knew root cause analysis, and they gave it to us in quotes. And for those of you that are saying that ancestors did not write us history, stop saying all these things. Because that's part of what the colonial masters did. They destroyed all our writing materials, destroyed everything that was written for us. Our ancestors did not only write things for us, they wrote and also transferred orally using codes, which we call proverbs and riddles.
Yep.
And they went ahead to say that if they give you this code and they have to explain it to you, that means that the dowry they paid on your mother's head is useless. What are they saying? That means that your mother did not review codes for you, because our ancestors knew that these people could come and destroy our written materials. That's why they gave us these codes. And it was very important that you're teaching a child these codes. They must learn these codes as they're growing. So that once they hear the code, your mother releases one code, you are expected to understand what the code meant.
Yep.
Then that means that your upbringing is properly done. And my ancestors said, if that is not done, that they wasted money marrying your mother. Because you just gave birth, popping out children, and not giving them code for survival. Is that bad? So if we go back to our roots, we will understand who we are, our identity, where we are coming from, and where we are going to. You see why anybody that is telling you, oh, you're tribal, you are this, that person is not your friend. That person is part of the enemy. Because you know what you call identity crisis is a major cause of mental illness. It's proven medically. Identity crisis, just like post-traumatic stress disorder, they're all parts of things that will cause mental illness to you. Depression, anxiety, all these things, they're all going to lead to mental illness. That's why you have a lot of mad people walking up and down in Nigeria. Because they don't even know where they're coming from and where they're going. That's why they will choose to swim through Mediterranean Sea than to stay in Nigeria, because Nigeria has destroyed them and their destiny. They are ready to die. They are ready to commit suicide. And you know what? Suicide is also a mental illness. Because they will ask you, do you have thoughts of killing yourself? So thought of going to Mediterranean Sea is a suicide thought. Is a sign of mental illness. But what reduced our people to this mental illness state? The Nigerian 1999 Constitution that the cabals put in place. And Ninas has been working hard to fix this thing. And you, what are you doing? You're helping the cabals to continue with their evil against our people. Have you seen that heaven will not pity you? Have you seen that flood is going to carry all of you away? So we told you that in May, for the Yorubas, this is how your problem started. And if you are a Yoruba person listening to us, share this video to your people. Those that are doing Oduduwa. Because if you don't find where the problem started, you can't solve it. That's why my people say that. If you don't find out how the water entered the god of Ubogoro, go and find what is Ubogoro. Ubogoro is my language. I don't want to speak it in English. Find it. If you don't find out how the water entered inside it, you will not get the solution. So my people were for root cause analysis. That if any challenge, you're facing any challenge, that first of all, before you carry on, find where the water entered inside the god. Then we begin to talk how to solve it. So in May 29, 1962, the Nigerian cabals suspended the Western Region Constitution that was used to govern the people and went ahead to drag Chief Awolowo to prison, the winner of independence election, and began to appoint sole administrators. So they collapsed Nigeria. They collapsed Western region. And as a result, there was chaos, anarchy. What happens when you collapse constitution? There'll be anarchy now. Operation Wet here and all those things that people told you. That's how it happened. They destroyed the constitution and removed the person in charge. Why? Because they want to conquer Yoruba people. And why were they able to do that? Because you did not have a military in the Western region guarding that region, which is why our people went to Aburi, because we had federation, but we did not have military to support the federation. We did not have military to protect the democracy. We did not have the power to keep the federating power, because we were, as regions, we were the constituents of the federation. So we needed military, like they do in US here. Each state has their own thing protecting them, so that if anything happens to United States at the national level, the micro state is protected. The end is about guarding the people. That their territory is protected, is kept. They have their own constitutions. They have all these powers. That's what makes you an entity. You need the people's constitution. So they were able to suspend the constitution of the Western region because the Western region did not have military. That was what we lacked. We are telling you where we are coming from and where we are going and how we stepped off the mark like a train. If the train leaves the track, bam, the train will fall and collapse. Chaos. So if you want to solve it, you go back to when you missed the track and begin to realign the train in the track before you can travel. You cannot be where your train has fallen and say, oh, okay, let's pull the train on ground and be going to Lokoja. No, you're not ready for the journey yet. So they began to appoint their own type of sole administrators to lead you By then, the people have lost their mandate because they have suspended your constitution and taken away everything that will make you to work. In 1963, the politicians, rather than settling this quarrel, this thing they know that they went and caused trouble, they went ahead with election. People like Nina's, the elders, then we are telling them, we need to fix this problem first. The train has left the track. We need to fix it first. He said, no, let's be traveling first. The cabals moved our people and continued to travel. 1966, there was further deterioration of everything. Killing of civilians. Because we told you that when lives and properties are lost, is another sign that there's a failed state. Because the essence of governance is to protect lives and properties. So when you are losing lives and properties, blood everywhere, it shows there's failure of governance. And what do you do to find out what caused this and how do we fix it? It's not to continue on the journey. And people will be dying. More people will be dying. If a woman is married, for instance, anytime she takes in abortion, what you do is not to continue to impregnate her. What you do is to take her to hospital to find out why is the baby not staying in her womb. What is going on? It can be from the womb, it can be from system, it can be hormonal. That is root cause analysis. You find out, get to the hospital and find out why is it that when an embryo, a child enters into the womb of this woman, the child does not stay. It flushes out. You find the solution before you continue to sleep with her again. If you don't do that and you continue to sleep with her and impregnate her, you're a murderer. Because every child is coming, is dying. Blood everywhere. So you must solve the problem first. So 1967, we now have collapse of negotiation of the Confederation at Aburi. We are telling you that our people are thinking, because when all this started happening, our people were like, no. When I mean our people, I mean everyone in that space that could speak, that could think. We are saying, no, we are having too much problem. Let's resolve it. That's why they went to Aburi. So when they got to Aburi, they said, oh, the only problem, we have our own constitution. At this time, they've not collapsed everything. They were still on the journey to collapsing everything. We say we have our constitution. The only thing we didn't have is military to protect us. Because if we had military to protect our territories, they will not be killing us the way they're killing us. We'll just call our people back and protect them. But Britain, the evil Leviathan, because we tell you the colonial masters are not for you. They knew that if they did that, that Africa will develop. Everybody will develop at their speed. And this world will be a different place. But because they're evil, they are Luciferous, they rejected that and led the northern region to reject the accord that the people had at Aburi. They missed the track again. We've had several opportunities to fix our coexistence. But each time, the indigenous people are out to fix their coexistence so that they will stop fighting amongst themselves. The evil cabals, the Leviathan spirit, the demon of origin, like they prophesied to us, will come in and intercept and spoil it so that we will not move on. As a result of that collapse in 1967, the brutal Biafra genocide happened. How many people died? Over 3.5 million civilians and 2 million children starved to death. And Peter Obi, this figure to Peter Obi is Akara and Moi Moi. It's not making sense to him. All he can do is to go and beg the terrorists that killed his people to vote for him because he must win. Because the demon in his head told him that he must become president of Fulani, Nigeria. So as an errand of Fulani, as Fulani errand boy, he must go and beg them so that he will win. Not the great cost of blood that our people are suffering. That one happened within 3 years. Go and now check northeast, northwest, middle belt. See the blood flowing in these regions. Why? Because people failed to negotiate the coexistence of the ethnic nations in that place. We have been paying in blood. We continue to wobble. Somebody that doesn't have leg, you want to walk. I say, madam, you don't have leg. No, man, I want to walk. I want to walk, wobbling. We kept wobbling. 30 years later, we continue to wobble. 1993, MKO Abiola, the people's mandate, popular mandate. Yes, we will get, they are telling you that your vehicle does not have engine. You say, no, we want to get the best driver. The best driver is MKO Abiola. I remember we'll be dancing in MKO, everybody MKO, just like Obi is happening now, which is why I say, elders, tell your children the history. Elders, give the youth history. If not, the blood of the youth will be on your hands. If you fail to tell this youth of this present generation that what they are doing now, that you have done it before,
Hi, Chimo.
did it 30 years ago, they will repeat your mistake and you will be a failure as an elder. Rather than dispute all the issues that we have, settle it, they continue to push our people, the cabals, because it's working for them. And our people continue to pay in blood. Great cost in blood. Blood. We're not talking about the infrastructures that couldn't be built, that is now causing blood. More blood. Because when you don't build the things you're supposed to build, the things will collapse and people will die. Whether you call it dam of Cameroon or whatever, these are the result of the non-negotiation of the existence of the ethnic nations in that space. As a result, nothing will work and nothing will be built. And when things are not built, whatever that is left will collapse. Your dam will collapse and water will carry you. Your roads will collapse. Accidents will kill your people. Your hospitals will collapse. Nobody will be made healthy. Your institutions will collapse. No infrastructures. No job for youths. Everybody will be running out, escaping from the burning house of Lugard. The burning house that you people have built there is collapsing. That is why everybody is flying through the window, through the door. You're seeing people going through the window. You're saying, Japa. Is it not madness for an adult to see the indices of failure and turn it into a joke? Turn it into comedy? Is it not the height of irresponsibility? Elders of Nigeria, you have been irresponsible. You're only an irresponsible parent that will give birth to children and not think of how to fix the future of these children without doing root cause analysis to know where the problem is coming from so that you give it a lasting solution. You can see your children flying through the window, through the door, through the ceiling, through the roof. Some are even boring through the hole in the wall. Some are putting hole in the wall to escape. Why? Because Nigeria is collapsing. Somebody said, let's be going. It's P2B, it's Atiku, it's Tinubu. We continued. 1999, we completely now missed our way. We missed our way and now entered into evil forest. Before we were crawling, you say, oh, the train fell out of track. And we are doing like this. Like that stupid man said, he dey shake. He dey shake on top of water. He never enter. He never sink. So we dey shake. We never enter. Until 1999, we now entered inside the water. Inside evil forest. That water carried us. We missed an opportunity for a fresh start. To at least legitimize this democracy we say we wanted to practice. Let's make it legitimate. How do you try to practice a federation, a democratic federation, on the basis of a fraudulent unitary constitution? Rather than union of constitutions, a federation is supposed to be a union of constitutions. That means the constituents we prepare their own constitution and you bring it together. That is why I call a federation. And somebody say, we want to unite Nigeria. We want to unite Nigeria. What are you talking about? Amalgamation of 1914 already united us, undergone. We are united. United People's Republic of Nigeria. Oh, no, United Cabal Republic of Nigeria. It's not even republic. United Cabals Union. of Nigeria. So those that are campaigning up and down want to unite Nigeria. Unite Nigeria. You're coming late. Nigeria was united 1914. Where were you? Because you won't go to history class. Olodo, Onuku. Trader that wants to do what professionals need to do. You're a trader, go inside the market and sell bags and shoes. Come out of the way. We want to hire professionals that will help us fix our land. We are not saying we are the professionals. We will say that they are professionals and we want to get them in. And they're already in. And they have suggested to us that what we need to do is to fix the foundation. Not to call trader to come and sell shoe and bag. If you're a trader, go and open shop in Ochanja markets and stay there until we tell you to come. There's need for supply bag or supply shoe. Then you can come with your shoe. For now, our people are dying. And it's a serious matter. This is not gallivanting issue. So how do you practice democracy that you say this is federation and you want to practice democracy? What you're having is unitary constitution that somebody fraudulently imposed on the people. It's like an oxymoron. It's like finding a virgin that is pregnant in the labor room. How did the child enter? How did you get pregnant, Madam Virgin? Oh, they'll say by the power of the Holy Spirit. Okay, but people don't have power of Holy Spirit now. What you have is power of the demon, Leviathan, demon. We entered a highway of calamity. We fell into a ditch. No right thinking elder would do what we did in 1999. But you know what? Obasanjo swore to rule Nigeria based on a constitution he did not know who wrote. He didn't know where it came from. He had no clue. Obasanjo did not see the draft of that constitution he was supposed to swear on, to use to lead the people. This Obasanjo you're seeing gallivanting up and down like a drunkard. I told my people, I said, all those generals, all those cabals that are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and is a mental illness, all of them are mad. Look at them now when they're wearing that, the agbada are going. Don't they look sick? They're mentally ill. And you have to be mentally ill to allow a mentally ill man to be guiding you and directing you where to go. We asked Obasanjo, the constitution that you swore in 1999, who made it? Who ratified it? Where were people when that happened? Somebody will say, what is a constitution? A constitution, simply put, is a social contract. Like my sister said at introduction, this issue it's not about who I love or who I hate. Oh, Hausas hate Igbos. Igbos hate Hausas. This is not the topic. Oh, you have to love Fulani. You have to love. That is not the topic. When you want to enter business, you can enter business with a total stranger. So far, the terms of the business is written and well understood by all the partners involved.
And agreed upon.
Agreed upon. You sit down, negotiate it, write it out. A, we see it. B, we see it. C, we see it. And we say, are we okay with this? Everybody say, if you say, hey, I have it, hey, nay, have it, that's when you will read it. And we will have time to read it. Then we agree, we say, okay, if anybody does not obey this contract, what will happen? This is what we'll talk about, exit clause, so many things. That's the process. It starts from the grassroots. From down, then you come up. That's what you do. The people, the constituents, are the ones that make the constitution, not politicians. For those ignorant people that keep saying, P2B will do it, P2B will do it. Before, I used to think that Igbo people were intelligent too. It's all these things that make me say, hey, whoa. So my people are not even intelligent. So my people are this stupid. Ew. I lost all the pride as an Igbo woman. Looking at my brothers, the so-called educated and elites, and engaging some of them in conversation.
God forbid.
Some are billionaires, some are millionaires. I really had a little respect with them before, for them. Sorry, I've lost all. And anybody coming to tell me, hey, this woman, how are you talking to anybody? Sorry, it's not my fault. You have lost respect in my eyes. Because I thought you had sense. I realize you don't have any.
Sure.
So it's not politicians that make the constitution, it's the constituents that are the ones that make constitution. And how did they do it? From grass to the top. So you start from down, then go up. It's not from up to down. They don't impose it on the people. So there's nothing PWB can do about it. And how is it approved or ratified or activated? Through referendum and plebiscites. My people, did you vote in any referendum? Yeah. Kide afuzo, ede anu ife. Since you cannot see, you're blind. Are you also deaf? Did you hear any time? Just like they did referendum for Midwest. Midwest people will tell you when they did referendum to leave the West. Nigerians, the youths that are jumping up and down, ask your fathers whether anybody invited them for any referendum before 1999 Constitution was ratified. Ask them. The Mumu people that like lying, ask them. So it's a 30-year cycle journey. As we continue. So 30 years again, after Abiola Abiola was killed. Sorry for that. 30 years later, now Obi, we have wobbled. We didn't dispute we didn't resolve our dispute, so we have wobbled on, and Obi has come, promising the Fulani people that he would drag all the Ndibo, all the agitating IPOB, all the Arewa people, all the Oduduwa people, all of them, that he's going to drag them. He's promising them. My sister, if you see the picture, maybe later. He saw P2B going to terrorists and telling them, don't worry yourself, I will drag all of them. Or see all these people making noise, saying that they want to be free. Don't worry yourself, just vote me. I'm going to drag all of them. And he said, they asked him, how will you do it? He said, I will try to talk. If it doesn't work, then I'll apply force. Ndi Igbo, onye melone here. Who did Ndi Igbo this? Who did you like this? So we are now to 2023, 30 years after. The leaders from the Alliance territory, this map will show you here. The Ninas map, it's the whole Nigeria together. And then there's a side, the yellow part, that is Sharia. And we say, is your self-determination. You don't want 1999 constitution, right? We too, we don't want it. And you want Sharia. He said, no problem, no quarrel. Go with your Sharia. We will go with our own. So we formed an alliance. And we are saying, let every leader in the alliance territory begin to think straight now. Because we will not help you people to maintain your stolen wealth. Because we know that the thing they are saying, you want Nigeria. But P2P will say, I'm a Nigerian. I will keep Nigeria together. I will maintain Nigeria. Because Nigeria made you a billionaire. You know you are not qualified to even handle one company. But in the criminal camp called Nigeria, criminals are billionaires. That is why they want to maintain that cover, even when people are dying. So he's promising his Fulani friends that he will drag everybody, despite all the agitation. As people are crying, like a child that you're pulling along. I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to say, I will drag all of you along, and you must go. And meanwhile, what is Nina saying? Nina has a ready-for-use template to resolve the union dispute. All this problem we have enumerated, there is a solution already on the table. It's a template. If you carry it, it's like when we are drawing things in secondary school with math sets. If you put it, whether it's Whether it's this thing you want to draw, what's all those chemistry things that you need to draw? Test tube, whatever, Bunsen burner, all those cylinder, whatever. You don't put your mass at something, just to pam, pam, pam. You're drawing it because it's a template. Whether you can draw, you cannot draw. No, just put on the template, put your pencil, draw it through it. You have it. Ninas has done this great work. We told you, first of all, they did research. For those that are busy forming coalition of this is not about coalition. Ninas is not political party. That's why we tell people this is not politics. This is war. There's human dispute, and we are trying to resolve it. To resolve the war. Politics has not started. It's after we have resolved the war in politics. So rather than wait for things to boil out and over, Ninas is saying we need that. This is extraordinary, that we need extraordinary, urgent re-engineering of terms of our coexistence in that geographical space. And you know what? It shouldn't be a problem, because the North said they are rich. They were discussing with P2B, his friend, their friend, that they are very rich, that without the North, Nigeria cannot exist. You are very rich. Why are you afraid of reconstruction? You're well-to-do. You have all the professionals. You have all the intelligent people that can lead you. Why are you afraid of reconstruction? Why are you afraid of referendum? Why are you afraid of us renegotiating our coexistence? Why? Why the jittering? Why are you jittering? You are rich, I'm rich. Okay, let's go to the table and talk. Stop dragging us to your stupid election. P2B, the president of Sharia North, the president of Sharia Northern Nigeria, says that the North is very rich and he wants to unlock their wealth. We are not arguing, no. We said no problem. P2B, we donate you to Sharia North. Go and help them unlock their wealth. We, our people, are dying and are scattered all over the world. We want to begin now. Self-determination, so that we can bring our people back. He said that thing he said, dismissing what we are saying, that we have not formed a union. Nigeria does not have the people's constitution yet. All the disputes, he dismissed all of it and said, I'm going to drag all of you and hand over to Fulani people. And my children, the obedient youths, are running. I say, carry us, they go, and sell us to Fulani. We are ready to be bought. We are willing to follow you, sir. We are very obedient. Take us, they go. Flood will go carry us too. We, the mothers, are saying, children, come back. Children, come. These are not the way you look at it. That P2B you're following, you're going to enter inside Fulani pot of soup. And the remaining one say, come. Come out, my people. P2B is making promises. The only reason we are calling him is that the rest too, our people already know that they have nothing to offer. Atik, Fulani, Shetima, and Tinubu, all of them, they have nothing to offer. So that's why we're not hammering. They just our people are following the person they thought will give them
Change
that they're looking for, freedom that they're looking for. And we're telling them, hey, Ibaga Banduri, you have entered one chance. The one chance you entered the Buhari own, P2B's own is going to be worse. Because he has to prove to the Fulanese that he's loyal to them. So he will sell his first son. P2B is ready to sell even his first son, his only son. That only son that they begged him before he had it. You see, P2B, before he even married, they begged him to marry. Before he had children, they begged him. His mother begged him. That's why I see his ear is like this. They kept pulling his ear because he will never do the right thing. He will do opposite. They begged him before they forced him to marry. Begged him before he had children. So he's ready to trade anything. He will trade his wife trade his children. But we are saying, Peter Obi, you will not trade in the Igbo. You will not trade the people in this alliance territory. You won't trade us. You won't trade Yorubas. You won't trade even all these ethnic nations. Peter Obi, you cannot trade us for your power. Whatever it is that you're asking that you want from Fulanis, we are saying we are ready to donate you. Peter Obi, we donate you to Sharia North. Go and meet them. Help them to unlock their wealth. That's okay. We don't have quarrel with it. We are just saying that you will not sell us to do that. We are donating you. Go and help them. We want to rebuild our land that was devastated during the 30 months destruction of Igbo land. And Peter Obi, this does not mean anything to you because you're a billionaire.
Nope.
The Fulanis made you billionaire. So it doesn't mean anything to you. However, we're saying we are not going with you. You go to the north, be the president of Sharia, Northern Nigeria, and help them to unlock their wealth. We want to go and reconstruct our land that was destroyed over 50 years ago, which is why our people are scattered all over the world. Our children are scattered everywhere. We want to give our children a befitting home. Some people will now say, so what do we do? What do you want us to do? What are the expectations? We want our people to be clear on what they want. Be clear on what you want. Don't go, if you don't see what you want, don't go and say, oh, this is what I want. I think Peter Obi will deliver it. No, that you'll be deceiving yourself. Be clear on what you want, which is you want change of the status quo. You do not want this nonsense anymore. You want self-determination. You want freedom. You want to be able to come back in your home and be peaceful. There's security of lives and properties. That's what you want. Be clear on it. If you don't see it, don't move. The next thing you need to be clear on is how to get this thing that you want. Do not gamble your destiny. Do not gamble again. You have been gambling and you have gambled enough. Those that are doing agitation, you are agitating. What is your solution? What is the plan? So we need our people to understand it, Nina's template, and make commitment to it. Commitment is to understand it. We're not telling you to bring money yet. Because actually the work has even finished. We showed you the video when we have met all the things, we'll break it down for you. How this whole work has finished. All you need to do is to embrace it and make commitment to it so that you can get the freedom. And then the next thing is that we need you to have the courage, because it takes courage to go for what you want. There has to be the right courage. There's a video that my sister will pull up for us of people. Okay, I don't know if I find it. It's a picture of people that entered inside the vehicle and are trying to push the car. If the car does not have engine, it cannot move. Somebody is sitting on top of car and trying to push the car. We're saying that is stupidity. So you need the courage to push through without fear of intimidation. However, it has to be through Nina's proposed multi-regional referendums. And then, of course, the transition that will go with it. Okay, yes. You see what we're showing you? You see how this man, the man in red, for him now, he's pushing car. See the height of stupidity. To him now, he's pushing car. This man in red represents all the people shouting, Obi, Peter Obi, Peter Obi. And sometimes when some people call them obidiots, they will take offense. Like my classmates that call themselves medical doctors. They are still saying it, that somebody called them idiots. Somebody called them idiots. Are you not idiots? This man is he not idiot? What is he? You see, one thing, you can deceive the whole world, but deceiving yourself, there's no forgiveness for that. You ought to know what is going on. You are supposed to be part of the elites. You are intelligent enough, at least being a medical doctor means that you are intelligent enough to understand certain things. But you're deceiving yourself. Are you not an idiot? Oh, because me called it. But who are you? Tell me what you are. I will describe it for you. Tell me what it is. Somebody that you know this patient is suffering from malaria, but you're giving chemotherapy for cancer. Medical doctor that is claiming intelligence. What are you? Is it that you're an idiot or you're a criminal? Because you know that this patient will never get healed of malaria. That chemotherapy you are giving to that patient will kill that patient, destroy the system that is remaining. When ordinarily you're supposed to just give malaria medicine.
Sure.
But because chemotherapy will pay you more, because chemotherapy, you will charge more, you decided to kill the patient. Calling you an idiot is waste of word. You are a criminal. That's why I should call you. You are a murderer. A medical doctor that knows that the diagnosis is malaria, but you are giving chemotherapy intentionally, not by mistake. You know what you're doing. I think you are a criminal, not an idiot, self. Calling you an idiot is waste of terms. So look at what this man is doing. Is it an intelligent thing? This thing he's doing, is it intelligent? Because that's the opposite of, is either you're intelligent, you know what you're doing the right thing, or you're being stupid. Our people need to stop being stupid. That's what we're saying. We talked about that the end result is multi-regional referendums, according to Nina's proposition, because we don't want any GPT. Some are going to do bru, bru, bru. No, it's following the template where the people will speak. And mind you, this is not the first time. Okay, my son. This is not the first time we've talked about referendum. Atiku that you're seeing, him and his Jeddah community, they were in Cameroon before. They came into Nigeria through plebiscite. Yeah, that's when all these were. See, all these are terrorists. This is Tama, Moma, or whatever. I don't know what his name is. You see the pictures they took. All of them, they are lobbying with terrorists. You see P2B also going to pay homage to terrorists. It's about the Fulani terrorism and feudalism. The other man who is running mates, that's from Mauritania. So Fulani Nation wants is about feudalization, and there's nothing anybody can tell you about it. This is feudalization. These are the people coming in with it, and P2B is already identifying with them, making them promises, and hobnobbing with them. And we're saying you can do that at your own expense, not at our own expense. So we're saying this is not the first time we're hearing of the referendum. They did a referendum in 1961 where the UN first territory that had all the Cameroon and some Nigerians. They did referendum there. Those ones that were in border areas. They did referendum. That's how an Atiku and his Jeddah community came into Nigeria. Hotel Muslim made P2B rich. Okay, so you see the information. So you see, it's like Rocha Sokorocha. You know, that's the truth. That is so true. All these people, they have to pay back what they owe. They owe these terrorists. They owe these people. You know, as a result, they have to sell you to keep them. So you can't trust them to deliver your mandate. You cannot trust them. So as we're saying, this is not the first time we heard about referendum. We know what referendum is. That's how Atiku and his Jeddah community came into Nigeria. It was through referendum. At this time also, at that time also, they did decide that took the southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. They were in eastern region of Nigeria. That is what took them out of that region into Cameroon. So it's not the first time that we're saying, oh, referendum. Yeah, it's the people's right. It has to be done in a particular way. So all the people that are agitating, if you belong to one group, be it in the church, community group, wherever you are, Ninas is working for you. Nigerian Indigenous Nationality Alliance for Self-Determination. Don't go and start forming your own something again and say, I want to go and get freedom, because there's nobody else will discuss with you. The stakeholders, the international communities, they're already committed to Ninas. So you go in there or giving money to anybody so that you go and meet them, you're wasting your money. We are advising you to stop. If you don't stop, it will not affect the one we are doing. You are only going to lose your money. Like the people in IPOB, my people in IPOB, they've taken their money. They know now they've entered last chance, because when they get the political solution they're looking for, they will probably have their man if he's still alive. However, they will never have Biafra. He has sealed. That Biafra is sealed and done. We already knew that he was sealed, but they did not want to hear. So they've given all their money. Like we have told you on this platform, we might salvage you, but you will lose your properties. You know, it's like people that chose to enter a capsizing ship. You lose your properties and all your luggages when the man that is coming to remove you from drowning will just single you out so that you don't drown, but you lose your properties and your money and your wealth. The same thing happening to those that are supporting P2B and all the politicians and everything. You will lose your money, you will lose your properties, you will lose everything. However, we are continuing with this project, and we're going to get our people more to regional referendums. And
Amen.
we're going, and no stopping, because nothing will stop it. There's nothing that will stop us. We're not seeing anything that will stop us. Every day we're seeing flood, we're seeing all the things going on. So nothing is stopping us. We see that this is the only solution on the table.
IDP camp loading.
IDP, yes, all of you will be in IDP. The only thing we're saying that the more you waste time, most of you will be in IDP camps before we finish. Some of you will be running from flood. Some of you will be running from terrorists and all that. You will all be relocated to IDP camps before we finish. Why? Because you're wasting our time. You're wasting our time. The earlier you come to understand what Ninas is saying, the better for you. If you continue to waste your time, you will all be in IDP camps before we finish. But we're going to finish. Thank you very much, my sister.
Definitely, we are going to finish. We have no other course but to complete this journey, and no gates of hell will prevent that. Thank you, Sister Ikwe, for that wonderful presentation. When you went to Yano, you can make joke of what is being said. You can pretend like you don't understand. We can be talking about other things, and then you want to add the no to ofeyere. It's all on your head. At the end of the day, what will be will be. But what you don't get to do is to sit around and do nothing and believe God to do it for you, because what God cannot do does not exist. You don't even know what is coming. 10th month. Go and look at our video from 3 or 4 months ago. 10th month is on. And then the 11th month, oh, you can't even imagine. Do the right thing and end this madness. It's not that complicated. At the end of the day, all we want is dignity and sustainable future for an African child. Nothing more, nothing less. We want you guys to be able to live a life that is what of living. We want you to be able to be in your environment and train your children, and what you get old, and you guys be just like every other person is having in their own country. We are not different. But if you decide that nothing gets done, you just don't know what is coming for you. And the good news is that God will actually sit down tight. Because what God said, I send them messengers, I gave them codes, I send them signals. Just like the idiots that they were collecting all the red flags, collecting them. Their whole environment is full of red flags, and yet it's not making sense to them. Nothing will change. Another 400 years will go by, and your life will continue to be. That's if you're still here anyway. Your life will continue to be where it is. You can see the failed state called Nigeria. The little flood you guys had, nobody is doing anything for anyone. People are trying to eat each other. Imagine when all that water now gets dried up, you will be seeing dead animals, dead bodies, talk about diseases. I don't know which hospital you're going to go to. Oh, I forgot, the one that is in heaven. God will do it for us. We are wasting time, my people. And you taking the Appian way, the shortcut to P2B, when he has handlers handling him, and the evidence is all around. Because you guys, I will fight for P2B. If you guys come back and say, oh, I thought you're going to fix this, he already told you guys that constitution is not the problem. He's not going to touch it. He said it. I will bring my money. I will sell my soul to make sure no idiot comes out to say that P2B supposed to do this. He already told you guys that the foundational problem that you have, he's not going to touch it. Maybe you know you of he said that he's not going to touch it. So if you dare vote for him, waiting for a change, one guy, you have a better chance of going to hell. Or should I say going to heaven before you can get this change that you're looking for. It will be an aberration. So, IDP camp is loading. The church will not save you. The God you serve will not come down. You will be buried, and life without end will continue. Life without end. So thank you. We've passed our time. We will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, you can send us email, you can call us on the phone. We're just trying to keep this, a little less time so that someone can actually sit down and watch it. We'll try to break down the videos, but please help us to share this information. People need to understand, especially the historical portion of it. We need people to understand that this change that you're looking for is not going to come from the same cabal handling P2B. It will not come. We first they will tell us how MKO did it, and at the end of the day, Europe is on fire. God is waiting for us to do the right thing. This is the right time to get our power. Get our power by bet. You keep talking. And instead of doing the one thing we know for sure, because we are standing on a higher ground, we can see when you're on the mountain looking at the valley, there is no one in our valley will compare to what you're seeing from the mountainside. We are at the mountaintop. We've seen what we can gain out of this. If you at the valley continue to challenge those on the mountaintop, one guy, begin to pack your stuff because hell is loading for you. We will see you guys next week. Have a very great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. Please continue to share. Bye-bye.